I mean, what I would do if you've got the capacity is even just share like some basic life stuff. Like just, document your days, your weekends, you do the who am I side of it, the dad side of it. And then the business shit can come later. I don't think it hurts to have that kind of ticking along.
It's interesting that you say that, because like when I think about what I want to talk about, like that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I want to talk about. I don't care about talking about the business stuff, but like just documenting the journey of like becoming a dad and like how hard but how rewarding it is like it's the only stuff that I've posted so far.
Yeah.
It's clearly the thing that I want to talk about. So I think that's a worthwhile idea to pursue, even if it's only a few times a week, just kind of updates on how all that's going.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of deeper context to it all, right? And if you boil down like the most simple content strategy, bizarrely random example, but I was looking at Mark Wahlberg's Instagram the other day, and that dude, you look at his content, it's really, I find it interesting dissecting people's content and like what they're doing. He just has a guy that kind of follows him around with the camera, and it's like he's in his ice bath and he's at the gym, and then he's just going to like one of his many businesses and he's all decked out in his municipal stuff, which is his fitness clothing line, and then he's just like, this is my fucking Chevy dealership that I own, this is my RV dealership that I own, this is my tequila brand. He's literally just like showing his businesses. And so I think for you, like keep the but then the rest of it is just his life. For you, I think what's potentially your version of that is it's like, well, show the life side of it, and then as the client work starts to come on, you can show some little quick grabs from your funnel. You can do an interview with a client, post like a case study. You could do like one longer form, like you can just be like, here's what I'm working on with my clients and here's who I am, and that is more than enough to like satisfy the content machine. It really doesn't need to be much more than that, and that's the direction I'm heading as well, right? Like that's why I kind of pulled all this stuff behind the scenes, is so I don't have to sit there and be like, here's 3 tips for your coaching business. And there's actually more like, there's a bit of curiosity to it as well. But yeah, it creates this like kind of mystery, right? 'Cause people see, who's this dude who just kind of lives this cool life and spends time with his family, and then holy shit, he just made this client $1 million. There's like this, there's this disconnect in our brains. Dan Kennedy talks.
This guy do?
Yeah, exactly. Dan Kennedy talks about creating mysticism in our marketing, and that's exactly that. It's like it's like, hang on, what? How? I don't see him doing
the whole tips content thing. I see that. It makes me cringe, and it makes me just want to like blow my brains out.
No, I know.
Please stop posting this crap. I don't care. Unfollow, block. Like, please leave me alone. I don't care.
Yeah. So that's where I guess where my advice comes from, is I'd keep the grant stuff ticking along, and then as the client stuff builds up, I think you could share some really, make it fun, right? First client, you go fly out to them, you film a proper podcast together, right? I think that would be your content strategy, talking to your clients in public and sharing what you're doing with them, and then just who you are. And I don't think it needs to be any more than that. You don't need to tick. It doesn't need to be any more robust than that. How do the big consulting firms grow? Well, they just do case studies on the clients that they've worked with. That's what we used to do.
Right.
We used to do, after we wrapped up a deal, we'd pull together a big deck, and it went over everything that we worked on with that client, where they were before we started working with them, the major problems that we helped them overcome, the major outcomes that we helped them achieve, and where they are now. Right? It was literally just a case study. And that was then what we would, if we were pitching on a new deal, that's what we'd send out. So I'd approach it in that way. And I mean, probably even worth you trying to build something like that for the other stuff you worked on. Asset to send out to people who come in through the ads or the cold email, a deck that kind of breaks down what you did with the email list and the problem that they ran into, and then how you kind of pulled $1 billion out of it.